Hi guys, welcome again here tonight. Sorry, 8936368. I had to do it. You know, you gotta push it out there, so I had to do it. So.
You see what I got to put up with? Devious, very devious.
Yeah. So thank you everybody again for joining us tonight. Sorry for such short notice via Kickstarter. I thought I had pushed it out there along the time frames of doing Facebook and also Twitter and all that good stuff. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's clear.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Alan. So
okay.
Yeah. So but thank you guys again. And if you guys are gearing up for the holidays, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. For all of you guys who are not here in America, and it's where we basically sit down and eat a lot of food, and give thanks.
We give a lot of thanks, no question there. Eat a lot of food, that's relative.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We've had a couple of wonderful milestones which have happened. If you guys read the Kickstarter update, we did indeed ship our last Kickstarter engine. So it wasn't actually shipped; it was actually picked up.
Yeah, I think we might have announced it on the last broadcast.
I think I'm not sure if we did or not.
Just in case someone didn't hear it, we said it again.
Yes. So the engines for the Kickstarters, they're all done, and they're all in the hands of the right people now. So, and next up are the System 30s, and for everybody who's getting the System 30Ms, which is the new model, we're no longer making the System 30s originals. So those who have the System 30 originals, you do now have a collector's item. They are the System 30Ms are rolling off the production line. In fact, we had 5 of them shipped out this week.
5 shipped this week. That's right.
So since we have been able to set all of our attention on doing nothing to the engines, the crew that's downstairs have been pushing really, really hard. Maker Joe, Mike, Davo, who's been helping out with the shipping. Well, he's been the shipping master. Leo, then you got Nolan, you got Sergey, you got even if Yenny, just
even if Yenny, come on, even if Yenny, wow.
Why you not working? So they pushed out the engines and now it looks as of right now is that the System 30s are starting to roll off the line, and it's been a fantastic couple of weeks. So thank you guys for being so patient with us and allowing us to turn these guys out. So thank you. So let's see. They'll probably be worth just as much or as more as the Mac Classics. J. Lee, they will be, because we built them to last, which means that when everybody else's doesn't work, yours more than probably will work. So you might have to dust off the print heads, though. So, all right. Yep. A lot of people have been asking about the lasers. A lot of people have been asking where we've been, and
where have we been the last couple of weeks?
Yes. I went with Davo this past week up to Nashville. So if you guys know what the ACTE, and that's Alpha Charlie Tango Echo, the Vision Conference up in Nashville, we did debut the new System 30M along with the new engine, and and it went actually quite well. We met a bunch of great people up there, met with a bunch of teachers, and they told us their trials and tribulations with 3D printers all the way across the board, and in some cases we were relieved that they are getting good prints, and we're not very relieved to hear that the service and support that's out there is still lacking and dismal for the ones not for our machines but for others, and we sincerely hope that whatever we can do to help, we'd love to talk with them. So if you have a teacher in this area that needs some help, we'll freely share whatever whatever knowledge that we have about our machines, and also what we think can help them. So thank you guys. And yes, we were on Slashdot this past week. Tim, who's out there, who's been doing a lot of the videos for Slashdot. Thank you very much for doing that, sir. You didn't have to do that, but thank you very much for the kind mention and actually putting together a video for Slashdot. That was at the Atlanta Maker Faire, which happened in the end of October, and that was actually quite fast. So thank you, Tim, for that. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can interject it over you, Carl.
I don't recall saying anything.
Okay. All right. So very nice. Oh yes. So the laser, yes, is cutting foam. Is cutting the foam out for, as you guys can see right there, the Mark Ones. And
so if you get a package and it has a little extra cushion thing that looks like this, that's because we have this left over when we cut it out for the MK1.
Mm-hmm.
Got an MK1 handy?
Yeah.
You don't have to take it off the machine. You don't have an extra one?
No.
Watch out for the emo on the floor.
Yes, I see it.
Anyway, when we cut it out, that's what's left over. So sometimes we just stick it in the box to take up space. Mm-hmm. It looks kind of cool. I think of it as a music note. You know, it's not really a treble clef. So, well, let me bring people up to date with what's going on. I was supposed to go to China 2 weeks ago and Vietnam, but unfortunately, the people in Vietnam who had dedicated some machine shop time to me bailed on me at the very last 24 hours. So what we needed to get made was too critical. I stayed here and made it here, and it wasn't exactly easy, but we got the job done. And so I will schedule my next trip for 3 or 4 weeks from now. That said, I was going to set the guys up at Shenzhen Laser Works with our stamp and our board. So it will be about 3 or 4 weeks before they officially release the laser for purchase from you guys or whoever might want to buy it. So just letting you know what's going on with that. And the test on the 5-watt lasers run great. So it's cutting clean, seems to be reliable. So that's good. On another front, now is the place where now that the production, I'm not going to say it's running smooth, but it is actually running pretty good. I don't have as much involvement in the day-to-day of it. Guys seem to know what they're doing. They're taking great pride in their work. I really appreciate what all the guys on the team are doing. So if you guys ever watch this broadcast, thank you, all of you guys. Yes. So this is the time now to move to the next version of software. Yes. So I have been working in the background, and now I have dedicated most of the next week and a half off-site. And don't tell anybody, I'm actually taking a mini vacation as part of this. But I have set aside for code and code testing, not tasting. And so I am hoping to have some stuff in beta testers, power users, in about 2 weeks' time. And this is the code. Yes, it fixes the stupid format with how many hours and minutes are left. But it more addresses the slicing and the easy implementation of switching between heads. So I am modifying the M codes a little bit so that they only keep engaged the heads that are supposed to keep engaged. And right now you have to, if you're going to switch from one head to another, you have to do a non-print move which tells that head to unprime. Then you do an M6, which is a tool change, with the tool number behind it and an O for the offset. If you do that, it will actually switch heads pretty nicely. And then same thing to move back to whatever the new head would be. We're going to actually post some examples of this code on the HYREL3D.net website. I hope they'll get to this and get it up in the next week.
Yep.
I have to send it back to Davo after I check it over. But there you go on that part of it. So, you know what's going on with the lasers. You know what's next on the software. Mm-hmm. On another point, many of you have come to us saying, this slicer or that slicer, it's faster or it's easier. We understand that. And up to now, we've only been able to fight the battles so fast. So I am certain that we will take a look at two of what we consider to be the more popular and accurate slicers out there over the next 6 weeks. And if I see an easy post processor we can implement, then for sure we will go ahead and um, implement at least an auto import from their cheat code, so it reformats it and makes it compatible with our interpreter, and or just make our G code interpreter, run right now. Someone's watching the print in the print room, huh?
Yeah.
We actually have a pretty good. We have
Yeah.
actually a very good internet connection because we're doing this live broadcast, and at the same time on the same trunk line, we're actually have the webcam, the drop cam up and running, and somebody is actually printing in the print room. I gotta say, Sergey has been fantastic. He is the guy who's been doing our test prints, and he comes to work and he just gets these machines up and running. He understands how important it is to get print time, and he's very, very particular. If we could get UPS to help us as much as Sergey, we'd have it made. Apologies to the last 2 units that were delivered. We had no idea they'd be brutalized. We've made a couple of additions to the packaging, such as we're having handles cut in the cardboard now, so it's much easier for a person to steer the box around. We kind of feel like they were just throwing the boxes off the back of the truck is what it looked like. They didn't break the two before, but they came very close on one of the boxes. So, what can you say? We're still exploring other possible potential things. On another note, one of the things I will be doing is I will be spending next week 3 days at UCSD working with a very, very nice and bright young man, and we will be testing some of the cross-link on dispense technology. And we have some high-powered 365 nanometer LEDs that have been configured to go on the end of an EMO and also the end of a volcano. And I have several working volcanoes. So we expect to be shipping some working volcanoes about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks out. I have to be back enough to make sure they're tested. But we have 10 of them that the parts are all in now. So I'm going to get a little test time on it, and then we'll fill up the orders out there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We have a couple of interesting print heads, and also we're going to throw this out there to some of you guys. We know that a lot of you have more experience in some areas than we do, and one of the areas that we stayed away from was making filament. And it has come to light now the last month or so that we could really help a lot of our customers out if we would come up with a filament extruder that allows programmable alloying and programmable dosing by other materials. And so we have decided to go ahead and in January we're looking. I think we've actually got a partner with us now. We're going to co-develop a extruder that will allow us to have up to 4 materials, powders, liquids, you name it, ratiometrically programmable, very, very dependable as far as the ratios go. And I think we're going to try to design it so we'll go as far up as 400C. That's our goals. And we're not trying to get in the filament business at this time, but we see so many alloys and mixtures that we feel like we would meet several of our different customers. And even if they're not our customer, we just feel like there's some materials that should be played with. There are a lot of great guys out there. I remember seeing a couple of guys that are doing some specialty materials, and they are doing fantastic work. And not to detract anything from the work they're doing, but this is like the Lion King song. There's more to do than can ever be done. So we feel like we just want to be able to respond to the needs of people that are using our equipment, or if it makes sense, if we can help in some way. As the applications grow in the biomedical area especially, we can see so many different needs that it's impossible to fill them all by one group or entity. So we're just here to help. I noticed that several people have said some stuff about about different slicers, and I see that Jim Powers just said to us that there is a C-sharp port of Cura.
Yep.
Wow.
It's rather new, but
I think that's fantastic because we should be able to hook right into it. Actually, I've heard good things about Cura also. So, you know what? This is why we asked you guys. We don't have time to evaluate every slicer on the planet.
Yeah.
So we depend on feedback from users. You know, kick us in the rear. It's a pretty big target on me, but kick us in the rear if it's necessary, or even if it's not. I mean, you know, we're here to serve. We're here to grow the market, grow the technology. The market will grow whether we're here or not. And so we appreciate when we're informed by you guys about things that we're just not aware of, you know. And so thank you for passing those out already. And if it's at GitHub, it absolutely has got the source code there.
Well, this is for Matter Slice, yeah. And there you go. The Matter Slice is it's a port.
C-sharp port of the Cura engine. Well, I think that's fantastic.
Yep.
Jim, thank you very much. Hey, Jim, have you actually compiled that and tried using it?
I think he has.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yep.
I know we have several people.
Yep. Let's see.
Okay, Hildreth, very good question. We have amber or orange colored glass that works with UV. So the laser with UV, and yes, it is possible. We actually have, I don't even know, you got it up here? We have it. We have them vacuum formed and looking good.
Yeah.
That's what you got. Okay. So the thing of it is, if you're going to cut with the laser, then we have an infrared laser because the UV lasers at high power are extremely expensive, like more than the printer.
So some of these, there's one that's blue,
here.
and then there's one that's
Let's see if we can get one out here.
Okay.
There.
Oh.
So this one is great if you're doing a UV. Violet, 405 nanometers for exposing resin. So if you're doing some of the cross-link on dispense technology, or if you're trying to do stereolithography using a pen plotter approach to this layer by layer, then the orange's color, amber color would be fine. If you're trying to run the infrared, we have blue that we had made up, and I'm sure that we can supply it in the blue as well. So we'll let you know how that works out.
Okay. As you say, says he just looked at the source. It's not compiled yet.
Oh, I'm going to download it next week and play with it. That works perfect for what I'm doing. I mean, it would be a dream come true to have C-sharp source code that you can just hook into to do your slicing as part of the project. I mean, Yahoo! That would make my life very easy.
It's very interesting. Easy Warts -1 says extruder is good, but you need a winder as well. Tension is key for diameter. Oh, that's for the filament extruder.
Well, I'm not supposed to tell you that technology, but just know that we've actually covered it.
Yeah.
You will, of all the things we've done, you will not be disappointed in the take-up diameter control of the filament.
Oh yes.
That or planes that would have already been crashing. So
that is very, very true. Let's see. The Jay Lee says the side panel is good. How about all the other windows? And
yes, all of them are available in a color, in one of the filtered colors. The only thing we'd have to be careful of is, and it really shouldn't be in effect, because there's no direct line of sight from where the laser goes to where there's a crack in the surface. And the only place there's really a crack in the orifice would be out the back, which you can easily cover, or around the seam of the door, which we actually found a gasket at Home Depot you can just buy and stick in yourself, and it just plugs the hole great. So I'm not saying that's what you should be doing now. I hope anybody's not listening. But there's a reason why we have double slots in this extrusion, and that is we look forward to the future when it's ethical and legal for us to seal the system up and control the temperature and other things in there. Right now, it is for safety and for controlling the air currents, the ambient air currents. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. He wants to know how much they would cost to have all the windows covered. So, that's a good question.
I know the
And-
answer, but I'm not supposed to tell you. It's under $200 for all the panels to come in a color. That's for the blue and that's for the amber. I can't speak to any other colors.
That does not include shipping.
No, of course
So,
not.
no,
Of course
so,
not.
yeah. Because shipping sometimes can be somewhat of a tricky issue, depending upon if they decide to play kickball or not with the boxes.
Yeah, our problem is the acrylic's just been getting destroyed. Of 100 plus units shipped, we've lost 47 of them just getting them here.
Yeah.
So now they're getting shipped in wooden boxes. They're actually coming in wooden crates for protection. But you should also know that we have polycarbonate ones that should be available by Christmas.
Yep.
The mold was released this week, and they told me 2 weeks to make the first prototype parts. And that's out of polycarbonate, and it is tough. It's just the acrylic molded a lot easier, and so our mold vacuum form people they tried polycarbonate, and they couldn't hold it. It was not coming out well for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we've switched to another supplier who seems to be pressure assisted vacuum forming,
Yeah.
where they put pressure on the one side and vacuum on the other.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen their work, and it looks very promising. Again, we bought 70 of these from somebody in Ohio at a much greater inflated price, and
Mm-hmm.
it was nearly 7 months delivery. It was just a disaster, and the quality of them, day and night. So I love the new suppliers a lot. I'm looking forward to getting a polycarbonate that is durable. As you guys know, they use it for bulletproof glass, or so they call it. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it's good stuff. So.
Yeah. So for those people who asked about the print as is currently going on inside of, or as you can see right now, inside our print room, which is on the drop cam, Sergey wanted to do a 12-hour print, so he did this one at I think 100 microns. So he's basically doing one of the covers at 100 microns.
Wow.
And he was doing it kind of slow because he wanted to see the quality. So by the time he returns on Friday, because he wanted to have the longest print that he could do, that was sliceable and all that good stuff, using Slicer, not Cura, but Select 3R. That's what he's doing right now. So that's the print you're seeing. So if you tune in tomorrow morning and it's still running, that's it's the same part.
It's in a
So-
continuous video loop. We just play the same thing over and over again.
Thanks. Thanks,
Slowly,
Carl.
slowly.
So, a couple of you have asked as well, and A. Carlberg, to answer your question, I did not forget you. A. Carlberg wanted to know the name of the company that you're going to be able to purchase the laser.
Shenzhen Laser Works.
So I'll put that in there. I just want to make sure I got that.
And we'll be posting their URL and stuff. Listen, we're trying not to repeat a mistake we made in the past, where we opened something up for sale and weren't quite ready for it.
Mhm.
So in this case, I'm trying to make sure everything's set up, the guys are set up, and they'll have inventory at their fingertips, so that when you order, it should ship 3 to 5 working days maximum time.
Yep.
And that will mean that Hutch or myself will have been there, and we're going to actually go through the first dozen or so lasers and make sure they're verified and working, training their guys. And I think that'll be a good starting point.
Oh, I completely agree. So,
It might be my Christmas time, but
eh,
could be your Christmas time. Could be our Christmas time. Who knows?
true. Okay, Powers You Say says he's going to email you this weekend regarding the slicer.
I appreciate that very much.
Very good.
Very much.
And Jaylee says, can you post the STL files for printable parts for the printer? Yes. Like the back cover, the nozzle, fan mount to the Mark 1, etc. Yes, and please understand that the files that we now have are for basically the new engines and also for the new systems. So they may not be compatible right now with the older original styles. So just to throw that out there. And the reason why is because we went from an aluminum tube, as you guys can see. Well, here we go. Up here, see with the black spine. That's right there. The part that's the the powder coated black spine. That went from aluminum tubing basically to steel tubing, and therefore the dimensions are slightly different, and that's the reason why we had to redesign those particular pieces. So little things like that happened. You'll also notice that for those people who have received the new engines or the new systems, that instead of the Y arm being directly in the center, it's actually off to the left. As you're looking at it from the front, it's off to the left so that we could have 3 heads on one side and 1 on the other one. The original ones had 2 and 2. And we did that because a lot of people were only printing with a single head, and having the single head in this very, very center makes the prints, gives the prints for that one single head a little bit larger of a working area or printing area in the x-axis. So, yeah. So that's so I'll have Davo post up the STL files for the original ones, which you guys can take and then do whatever you want to with. You know what? Should we give out we can give out the STP files too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so the step files, so you'll be able to import them into pretty much even FreeCAD, and then export them out into an STL file. Also, if you're having issues with your STL files, wherever you download them from, please go download FreeCAD, because they have a wonderful way of taking step files and doing healing. So version 13, not so much. So if you got 13, if you have version 0.13 or 13 on FreeCAD, upgrade to 14, because they've done some wonderful things when it comes to file conversion, and it actually takes whatever the files are and shrinks them, and they did a wonderful, wonderful job. So the guys who are out there, if you are part of FreeCAD and you're watching this broadcast, awesome job, guys. Really, really awesome job. So, okay. And then, okay. And Hildrick wants to know if that will be a...
No, he's saying that will be infrared.
Yes. Yeah,
let me see what I can do for you. I think we can get that arranged. I know I'm having some made again, as soon as the mold test, I actually authorized 25 of each color.
Oh,
I did that last night. So, we see how that comes out. But if those come out, then it's no problem.
Agreed. So,
cool.
Okay.
Well, tonight's broadcast wasn't going to be too long. We just wanted to touch base with you since I'm going to be gone the next 8-9 days. We didn't want to go 4 weeks without a broadcast. And we want to tell everybody Merry Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving, and blessings to all you guys. I know it sounds like Merry Christmas. It doesn't. Thanksgiving's a great time of year. It's a family time.
Yeah.
And I'm actually taking a few deep breaths and spending a little time with my wife and child. And looking forward to my oldest son coming back home soon. So blessings have been bestowed upon us, and we're looking forward to, getting back to it and keep pushing on this thing. But we've been blessed, and so it's time to say thank you to everybody around us and the big guy in the sky.
Absolutely. So. Let's see.
Hey, I had turkey tonight too with cranberry sauce, so don't feel like the Lone Ranger there, Jim.
Let's see. On the subject, the print center, the print best is screen.
Bed best? I don't understand bed best. What's that?
Okay. The print bed is screen printed with 00 in the center, but that does not match reality.
Well, yes, that sounds like it's a mistake, all right. So here's the deal with the print beds. What you guys don't know is we've been working in the background with 3 or 4 different approaches to a better print bed. And as we speak, we have yet another batch of aluminum print beds that are on their way to us, and they're unfortunately were held up a few days in Hong Kong, otherwise they would be here in my hands. Well, we just got an email a few hours ago saying that they were released, so that's a good thing.
Finally.
But what we are doing is we're moving to a different way of marking. It turns out that the silk screening was wearing off anyway, so we are looking to have the grids and stuff laser marked. And I'm not sure about whether 00 should be in the center or not. it probably makes perfectly sense that we should go off to one side with it as a metric. That's a good point. I got to confess, a lot of what you guys see is coming straight from the CNC that we own. In other words, the way we operate the CNC is the way we orient some of the programming. And I realize that the printer is not a CNC, but it's also not that far different from a CNC. And it turns out that our CNC, the center is actually in the center. 0, 0 is in the center. And not only is it in the center, it actually homes to the center. So, which I know defies logic. You have to hand move it and then get it close, and then it fishes for the home in all the directions. As was demonstrated to one of the Georgia Tech guys this last weekend when he was here, Daniel. Anyway, that's why it's that way. Obviously, one side or the other would make sense because the magnitude gets bigger going one direction. The reason for putting 0, 0 in the center in the CNC world was that if you have symmetrical parts, it makes the programming so easy because you have a plus and a minus. The number's the same, you just change the plus or minus around. So when machining parts that are symmetrical and you're down the sagittal line, the center line, it just makes the guy who's having to write the program by hand has nothing to do with the slicer and all that stuff, which of course is doing a great job. It's just something that I wasn't attuned to at the time we had that first hill screen done. So thank you, Jim, for pointing that out. We'll look and see what markings make sense.
So, thank you. And also, yes, posting on the forum, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And let's see, Alan says, so us System 30s should make room under the tree.
Yep. All Kickstarter System 30s are in process.
So as you guys can see, well, yeah, up there.
That could very well be one of them right there.
Yep, that's right. So, and you can see there's a total of 3 of them in there. So let me see if I can use the
We're
cursor.
down to the last
So
10 or 9 right now.
Yep. I think it's the last 9, if I'm not mistaken.
It could be.
Yeah.
So we're shipping 5 printers a week or so. There's a few of you guys that are stragglers.
Yep.
I'm making 2 custom units for people, and one or two of them is going out of China directly because they are like right in their backyard.
Oh yeah, it's
and so those 2 guys won't get it till after I go at Christmas time.
Yeah.
But all the domestic guys and I think all.
Well, there's 3 of them I think that are going to be going out. So there's Wah, there's Kirpa, and there's Tim.
I forgot about Kirpa.
Yeah.
There's 4.
Yeah. And then yes, yeah. So there's 4. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent.
Well, that'll make a worthwhile trip.
Yeah.
Go over there, get 4 systems out, off they go.
Absolutely. So let's see. Cool. I'm scheduled for a Maker Faire here in February. Oh wow.
Well, you should have a party. Isn't it cold in February there?
Yes.
It better be an indoor
Yes,
Maker
it is.
Faire, or it'll be a frozen Maker Faire.
Yeah, but come on, he's in God's country there.
Is it
so?
Kalispell?
Yeah, he's Alan. I know. If I remember correctly, you were in Montana. So.
Kalispell.
Yeah.
I think
where it's beautiful. Every picture
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen is just like wow. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
I think.
That's yeah.
I think they got hit with this storm that went across the U.S.
Oh
too.
my goodness. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We didn't get any snow here in Atlanta, but my heart goes out to some of those guys. I mean, you guys got hosed good.
Oh yeah. That's where Davo used to be when he was up in Buffalo. They got hit hard. So it's
Cool.
that league effect. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Getting a foot in Massachusetts?
I think
Oh
they're
man,
just-
powers.
You guys are just bragging.
Jeez, man.
How much did you guys get up there, Jim, overall for the last 2 weeks?
Wow.
I mean, you didn't get like 7 or 8 feet.
No. And when we were in Nashville, we didn't see any. So, about the tree. We non-Kickstarters. That's a good question, A. Carlberg. No. That shouldn't have popped up. All right.
What was that?
That was just the antivirus.
Wow.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. We're not to side skirt the issue. So here's the deal. We have been pushing hard to get to 10 systems a week. We just now achieved 5 this week. We expect 5 next week. I won't be here next week, and I give a little bit of extra bonus, but it's lined up so that we should move to 10 units a week in that second week in December. And then we're going to keep pushing at 10 units a week. That means the non-Kickstarters should be completely filled by January 15, January 20. So all orders will be completely filled in the next 6 weeks, if not sooner. We got very dedicated guys. We're working through the holidays. So, I wish we took a bunch of high-resolution photos because there was something we really wanted to share with everybody tonight. And that was, we have dozens of MK1s lined up, the print heads. For once in the whole entire history, we had boxes full of MK1s. I mean, nearly 40 or 50 of them.
Yep.
And we owe Leo, and
Yes.
I know Leo, I called you Louie today, so I apologize. We owe Leo because he stayed on task and really cranked him out this week for us. And so, thank you, Leo. Anyway, that's always one of the caveats. We get close to printing or having a printer that's ready to ship, I should say, and then poof, we're waiting for a hit. Well, that's not happening anymore. We also, thanks to Hutch, have 25 email 25s ready to go out. So we're actually going to be closing out a lot of the back orders over the next couple of weeks for those of you that we owe heads to. We need to send some to Singapore, to Patrick.
Yes.
And so I'm going to get back with the guys on Friday and see if we can get that done because I owe him 2 units.
Okay.
One for the manual that he wrote for us, and the other one I owe him as a back order from the original order.
Okay.
So, and I know we owe lots of you guys stuff. So we're trying to balance it, but there will be back orders being filled now. So, yeah, June, and don't forget to remind us if you haven't heard a shipping thing by Monday on your head, make sure you hound us because we owe you that head for sure.
Yep.
So,
and but as you guys can see, just because we make them, just because we assemble them, does not necessarily mean that we're going to ship them.
they have to be tested.
No,
We won't
it has to be
ship it
tested.
unless it's tested. It's just embarrassing enough when it gets beat up by UPS, but we are not shipping anything without testing it.
Yep.
Now, these heads that you see, every morning, every afternoon, they get swapped out for new heads.
Mm-hmm.
So we run the printers, we run the heads. No head ever leaves with less than a couple of hours of print time on it, and usually it's 4 or 5 hours.
Minimum.
Yeah, and quite often it's several days.
Yep.
And we found mistakes. I mean, this is a manufacturing challenge. I wanted to say nightmare, but that's not an accurate statement. So the challenge is to make sure that the parts are all in spec, and the hob shaft is always a challenge.
Yes.
We can't just send it to any old machine shop and get it back the way we want. So we have a supplier that's giving us what we're looking for. They know what it's supposed to do. We know what it's supposed to do. So we've made a lot of progress in that area, thank goodness.
Oh, I agree. Big time. So
Anyway.
Let's see. Wow. They've had 8 inches of snow up in, Montana. Only 2 to 3 inches in Ontario.
Canada.
Come on.
Oh, good.
If I just be like, America needs some snow. Here, just take some of ours. That'll be fine. Oh man. Yes.
Okay. Well, I think I need to get.
You gotta get ready for your trip tomorrow. So
Yeah, I would love to.
Mhm. What?
Oh, I said I would love to show them what I'm working on, but he won't let me. You know what?
Oh no!
He'll let you
no,
on
no,
the
no.
next broadcast.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's really ready.
Yes. So, but don't worry, guys. It's good stuff, and I think you guys will be as pleased as I am as to how it's turned out. So you'll just have to wait until next time. So yes, another cliffhanger. Sorry, guys.
You know what? We should get someone to give us a DXF of the United States. I could print the states. We could cut them up. Wouldn't that be cool?
I can get, yeah.
Just the state lines. Hey, if anybody knows where we can get a DXF for the States, for the United States, or any other interesting geographical thing, I would love to cut this up and make it so, it pops apart and becomes a map of the United States, or Mexico, or Europe, for those of us that don't know Bulgaria from Moldavia. That would be me. Sounds
Wow.
good.
All right.
You know what? Carl's going to wear a hat next time. I already talked to him about it. I don't know why he didn't remember it.
Oh, thanks, Yeoman. Yeah, he's got zero snow in Tampa, and zero in Copenhagen. Very nice. Very nice.
So Florida, Copenhagen, Florida, Copenhagen.
Oh man, polarized lights and air. And
You know what? You guys are absolutely right. This is so much better. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to go. A million thank yous to all of you guys
Yes.
for staying with us, for coming on the broadcast.
Mhm.
And we will look to put one up probably 2 weeks from tonight. Can't be a week from Sunday. So 2 weeks out, we'll try and do another broadcast. And that one should be pretty interesting because we'll actually see whether or not we can keep moving these 30 M's out. And it was not for lack of trying, certainly.
Oh, yes.
And, that'll be good. And so, a million thank yous to you guys.
Yes.
Blessings on all of you. Happy holidays.
And have a happy Thanksgiving. So yeah. All right, guys. Good night.
Bye.